Hey, everybody, welcome into Live with Greg this Tuesday night. I'm so thrilled to be joined with an amazing young man tonight. He is preparing to run, get this, folks, 120 miles from Atlanta to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yes, I did not say that wrong. From Atlanta to Chattanooga, Tennessee, 120 miles. He will be running. He's been preparing for months, getting ready for this journey. And joining me tonight, this Tuesday night, is the amazing Breon Thomas. He is a proud graduate, if I'm not mistaken, Brainerd High School. Is that right, my friend?
That's a fact. Yes, sir.
I,
Brandon, what's up, now?
Good to see you. You know what? I'm so good to be talking. So good to be talking with you. Finally, I've seen all of the promotion, all of the excitement, the hype surrounding the big event happening next weekend. So for people watching, when I first saw the promotion, I said, I've heard of a 5K. We've all heard of a 10K. We've heard
Yeah.
of a half marathon. We've heard of a marathon, which is 26.1 miles.
Mhm.
But this young man here is running 120 miles from Atlanta to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So everybody's probably wondering why.
Why? Well, the ultra marathon is anything over 26.2 miles, right? And there's hundreds of thousands of people that run ultra marathons. A lot of them, this is not even the longest one. Some of them run 200, 300-mile marathons at a taking, right? But for me, why I wanted to run this ultra is I definitely wanted to challenge myself. All through my life, people have had put certain limitations on like the possibilities of what was available to me. And so last year I was able to like become a full-time entrepreneur, and I seen how open everything was. And I was just like, man, if I can do this, what else is possible? And one of the first things I remembered was reading this book called Born to Run. And these people would run hundreds of miles. And I was like, you know what? My gift to myself next year, I'm gonna run 100 miles. And that's
Wow. So
started.
you are preparing to run 120 miles next weekend. So what has the preparation, the training been like for something like this?
Man, I can tell you one thing is that the dream works when you got some teamwork. Because if I got on here and say that I did this by myself, man, I shouldn't even be on this platform. Like I'm so happy to say that I sit here as one man, but I'm really a network of people that have come together around this vision and this idea and put their best foot forward. My friend, which is like really the co-sponsor of the whole event, which is Ian Sullivan, would never accept less, right? I'm not. She remember. You remember
I
Ian?
do. Ian is a friend of this show. He's been on this show.
Yeah. So Ian lost 150 pounds.
Hmm.
So I went to Ian with his health and wealth weight loss journey, and I was like, "Look, man, I got this idea. What do you think?" He said, "What we need to do?" I was like, "Really, you in?" He was like, "Yeah." So in preparation, we've been training for a whole year. I lost 40 pounds. I became a vegetarian, right? And I've just explored the beauty of good suffering. And
You
yes,
know, I can only imagine what the training has really been like. What have you learned about yourself along this journey?
man, Greg, I feel like I've become a philosopher of sorts, right? Like when you're faced with a Charlie horse, or you stumble on a concrete, you twist your ankle, and you still got 2 or 3 miles to go in your training run, and you know that things like this potentially happen on race day. In your mind, you got to find a way to overcome that pain. And so, one really good, trueable quote that I'll take forever with me that I got from my training was, people look into mirrors to see themselves, but you look into suffering to see your soul. Right. And I just was able to embrace that concept of suffering being a fruit of the spirit, because I am a believer, right? And there's good things that kind of come out of it. You're able to look at yourself and see what types of things that you can work on, not just physically and running, but socially and emotionally, to help you overcome and achieve your goals. It's been
To know that you're preparing for this amazing journey that's going to be coming up next weekend,
Yeah,
What has it been like to see the support, the love on social media?
man. I can say in the name of the ultra marathon is the 1 in 5 ultra. 1 in 5 kids are born with a learning disability. That's over 20% of all of the kids born. That's 77,000 kids a day in the United States, if my numbers are right. Right. I'm one of those kids. So to see me project a image of a vision that I have about a run, and to know that only 2% of African Americans sign up for marathons, period, to see people get behind the idea of an ultra marathon is mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
You know, I applaud you because this is going to be quite the feat for you, and I know you can do it. But when it comes to 120 miles, what's the journey? Will you be running with the motorcade? Will you be running on the interstate? Like, where are you going to be running?
So another friend of the show is Sheree Moore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was she trying? So Sheree, JT Hustles, who's a YouTube star, right? All of them have come together. And, they're going to be my crew, and so I'm not running down the highway. A lot of people think I am running down the highway, right? I'm not. But if you've seen the movie Cars and you've seen how like when the highway got in, there was an old road that was like kind of abandoned. Yes, I'm talking about a kids movie, right? There's a road like that that runs from Atlanta to Chattanooga, which is Highway 41, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the road that I'll actually be traveling down to accomplish my goal. And I've been training on that road. By the way, Greg, this isn't the first time that I made this journey. In 2017, when I got out of the military, I actually walked from Chattanooga to Atlanta. So this
Wow.
this journey is something that I'm somewhat familiar with, but this is a whole nother feat, bro. Whole nother feat.
This is going to be happening June 25th through the 26th, 120-mile run. So for people watching, and I have to ask you, will there be any breaks, dinner break, lunch break? Or are you just going to do this straight through?
Man, I'm so glad you asked me that because we do have sponsors. I had an opportunity to go to Fleet Feet, which is a running store on North Shore, and I was just telling them what I was doing, and they hooked me up with some various things to help me on my journey. Plus, I got a coach. Like my coach was in. Yep, they go Fleet Feet. My coach recommended me get some fuel gels, and so since I'm vegetarian, I found a fuel gel that is located that actually is manufactured in Nashville, Tennessee, which is Huma. And this company is what I'll be using. I'm planning not to actually eat a lot of food that day and just to consume these gels. And I don't plan on stopping. If I only thing I'll be doing is slowing down to walk, consume the gels, spray water on my body because it's gonna be mad hot and keep going. But we don't plan on stopping the whole time.
When you think about this journey and what you're about to do,
Mm-hmm.
what has kept your mind focused on this journey to get to the finish line?
Man, I think back to when I was sitting in a classroom, and a teacher called out a word on the board, and how anxious and afraid I got when she was about to call my name, because at that time I was popular, but this is the first time that they would know that I couldn't read. So that fear, and being able to overcome that fear and still go after success. I graduated college and all of these things, and knowing that there are other kids that have to go through those kind of embarrassing moments, that's what keeps me going, because I know that the energy of this race will impact and inspire other kids like myself.
You talked earlier about Ian Sullivan and how he really has inspired you, pushed you along the way. Ian has been on this show. He's lost over 150 pounds. So proud of the work he has done. But what has he told you about keeping you motivated, keeping that mindset in the right place as you prepare to tackle 120 miles next weekend?
You know, the biggest thing about Ian is not so much what he said, but the action that he take, right? He's a person that he's like, let's just get it done, right? And when you're in the process of making those steps to go after your goal, he's not gonna let you accept less. He's gonna tell you the truth. He's gonna do it in a loving way, but he's gonna push you to do the things that your goals. So the biggest thing about Ian is his action. And I'm so valuable. I mean, I'm so appreciative of that action, because friendship and having a good network is one key of success that I would encourage any kid with a learning disability to have. Make sure that they know that they can achieve anything, but your network is very important to your achievement.
You talk a little bit about your learning disability and what you went through when you were a young kid growing up here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. For
Yeah.
people that are watching, there's so many people who deal with so many different challenges when it comes to gaining an education. How did Breon Thomas overcome the obstacles and achieve so much that you've achieved so far?
I don't want to. I'm not gonna. But um, yeah. So like when I was going through school, one major person in my life was this guy named Jack Noonan. He was a missionary to Breon High School. He was in Campus Crusade for Christ. Um, and I first learned about audiobooks through him. Since that moment, that's where I found out that I was an audible learner. But before that, I didn't even know that the term existed. Once I was able to find out my personal learning style, I found out that I actually loved learning, but I hated the process in which it was given to me. So I started consuming books all the time through audio. I could retain over 90% of the information almost like by muscle memory of sorts, right? So when I explored my learning style and I learned my love language, right, they kept me interested in the information. Then I seen that the sky was the limit to the possibilities of what I could achieve in this life. And with that said, we are coming out with a documentary called Black Endurance. And it will give the 1 in 5 kid born with a learning disability practical tools, mental, emotional, and physical tools of how to achieve success in this life and not use their learning disability as a crutch, but as a platform for achievement.
You know, Brian, when you talk so passionate about what you have gone through, what would you say to those parents and young people out there? Because a lot of times when kids like you growing up, they go through a difficult time and kids can be so cruel and can be so mean. What would you say to those kids out there who are having a hard time in school because they're going through what you went through? What would you say to them? Because you are just setting the example that anything is possible if you work hard and don't give up.
Something I say it's something I say to my audience on social media at the end of all of my videos. It's not about how hard you hit, but about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not blame him, her, or anybody. Because cowards do that, and that ain't you. You are better than that. So if you know what you're worth, go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits. And that's what I say, Greg.
You know, I am just so proud of you. You said you started a business last year and you started this business during the pandemic, during a time where most people were like at home chilling. But I will say this. I have talked to so many people over the past year who took a leap of faith and started a business during the pandemic. What, for so many people, we grow up, saying, our parents saying you got to get a good job, get benefits,
Yeah.
and do what you need to do to raise your family, take care of yourself. what moment did you decide that, you know what, I am going to take that leap of faith and jump?
I wanted freedom, man. Simply like, um, I got fired. I've been fired from jobs in the past due to the effect of my learning disability being exposed. There's some things that I still struggle with certain things, right? And so what I found in entrepreneurship is that I could make my own road and I could showcase the brilliance that I have inside of me in my own way. I could create a service that I could do, right? That was something personable to me, but I could help people achieve their goals through the service that I provide. And so once I seen that and somebody broke down what entrepreneurship really was to me, I seen my voice and I seen a platform that I could come on and deliver joy all over the world. And thank God through my network, through my mentors like Sheree, Ian, Nothing But Net, JT Hustles, the platform is inspiring thousands all over the country. And hey, I'm a kid from Chattanooga, Tennessee with dyslexia and ADHD, but I'm able to inspire the world. Like, anything's possible, bro.
I know anything is possible, my friend. When you talk about your business, tell us, what is the business? What's the name of the business? Where can we find you? What you doing?
Hey, Greg, I gotta do this because I know my audience is definitely gonna be watching, right? Hey, and I'm about to bring everybody in, right? Expediter, let's go,
I,
right? So what I tell people is that I'm the cargo man in the cargo van, right? I deliver joy and freight just comes with it. I got a freight delivery service, and I use cargo vans to do it. And I teach people all over the country how to build businesses in cargo vans. A lot of people don't know you can make between $50,000 to $100,000 a year, if not more, in a cargo van. So it's
wow.
yeah, the transportation industry is big and it's a place for all of us. Even if you got a regular job, you can make passive income in the transportation industry. $790 billion industry, man. And it's room for all of us.
I love how you said that there's room for all of us to succeed. Where can
Yeah.
people find your business on social media and online?
Okay, so the first place I definitely want them to go to, right, is the 1 in 5 ultra. So at sign, the number one, the letter N, the number 5 ultra, because I know some of you guys might be inspired and you want to support. You can go on that page in our bio link. You can go download. I'm not download, but you can donate to the cause. Like I said, we have a documentary coming out. Secondly, if you're interested in being an expediter, you don't have to drive cargo vans. If you just like the energy, you want to be encouraged, I would definitely encourage you to put in cargo van into Instagram. If you put cargo van into Instagram, you're going to see a black X and the word expediters. And that's where you can find our content. We do a live recording every Sunday. We just had She Trucking on there. Next week, we having JT Hustles come on. And look at this, Greg. He said he's coming on to teach everybody that watches how to make at least $10,000 a month. And he's turned a lot of people into entrepreneurs, including myself. So, hey, like I said, we bringing a lot of value, man. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited, and yeah.
I, I love that. If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be and why?
Wow, I just asked JT this. I said, JT, what would you describe this? He said effort. He said, what about you, Bree? I said, I think I'm an opener, bro. He's like, what you mean by that? I said, well, I like to open dialogue. I like to meet and open opportunities for people. So that comes through building relationships. That comes from just loving to learn and loving to learn like how people connect the dots in their lives, which may help me connect the dots in my own. So I would say that I like opening up opportunities, bro. like for everybody. I just want everybody to have an opportunity really to see the beauty that's inside of themselves. So I like opening stuff.
No, I love that. I love that is perfect. So as we wrap up tonight, you are getting ready for this again, 120 miles coming up next weekend, the 25th and the 26th. So for people watching, you're doing this for a cause. So can they donate money to your cause to go towards, the help that you're doing for other people? How does that work?
So yeah, like I learned how to start my business through watching YouTube videos of JT Hustles, who's in my network. He's one of the proud sponsors of the event, right? So all of the sponsors have gotten together. You can see them down at the bottom. That's Never Accept Less, Nothing But Net. No Excuses, which he's running the last mile of the race with me in a wheelchair. She Trucking, JT Hustles, and See Him Enterprise, which is my company, right? So you can go to the Instagram page, which is 1 in 5 Ultra, and in the bio link, you can go and donate to help us produce this film, which is called Black Endurance, right? Highlighting minorities with learning disabilities and how they actually achieve success in life. We'll be giving practical examples from my life and the lives of the people that's in my network, how they've been able to overcome like the struggles in their own lives to actually meet success. And I can say through God, He's blessed me with culture shifters, man. Culture shifters, man. Sheree Moore, I say she the Madam CJ Walker of trucking, but she's on the 1 in 5. She's one of the 1 in 5 sponsors. She's gonna be in the documentary, and I got all of these valuable, amazing people coming on to share how the people with learning disabilities, kids with learning disabilities can reach success, and that's what the whole thing is about. Even before me running 100 miles, the staggering number is over 20% of all kids are born with learning disabilities, and we're going to bring light to their invisible struggles.
Breon, I am so proud of the work you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Again, Breon Thomas, a graduate of Brainerd High School, 2006. He is running next weekend, June 25th to 26th. By the way, can we follow? Will somebody be running your Instagram so we can see you live running or live something?
So this the beautiful thing. We gonna have multiple updates all over social media, but you definitely will be able to get the updates on a 1 in 5 Ultra page. We got photographers, we got videographers. I'll have a tracker on my belt, which you'll be able to follow me on my run through a website link in the bio, right? So this will be an entertaining experience. And the reason why that is because like the way I learn, I gotta be entertained or I won't find any value in it. So this will be an entertaining experience, and you can catch all of the action and the adventure at the 1 in 5 Ultra. Yeah, that's our suit, man. I felt like Batman in that suit, Greg. It was too hot to run in, though. I didn't think that would through, buddy.
I applaud you. I applaud anybody that's going to run 120 miles from Atlanta to Chattanooga. I bow to you, my friend. I listen. I'm praying. I know you're going to do well, and I just know that you're going to do a great job. And I just want to say thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being yourself and authentic, and just also just sharing, what you have gone through, your journey, because always say, whenever we go through something, it's good to share the experience to help somebody else. But more importantly, I am rooting for you next weekend to go all the way from Atlanta to Chattanooga. Don't be like Greg Funderburg. I did a half marathon.
Okay.
Some friends of mine. Well, wait a minute. I got to give you the disclaimer. Some friends of mine asked me to do a half marathon, and I think it was 2017, and I told them I did not want to do it. And so I ended up doing it. It was in Nashville. Okay. I'm used to doing 5Ks. I got to mile 4 and I said, wait a minute, this is not fun. I got to mile 5. And when I got to mile 7, I called an Uber. And the Uber couldn't get to mile 7. So I had to walk to mile 8 so I can get to the Uber. So don't be like Greg Funderburg and call the Uber. You keep going. As Oprah said back in years ago on her show, run on, my friend, and see what the end is going to be.
I like that. Hey, Greg, can I say one thing, man? I just want
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
I want to give you your flowers, brother. Like I'm from Chattanooga, and I feel like I vividly can remember around the time when you were introduced to the public, and I can say you have definitely made an impact on the minds and the hearts of this community, and I just honor you, bro. Like I appreciate the the role that you play in culture here, man, and it's so powerful. We are definitely rooting for you. I know it's a lot of things that potentially can happen, but you definitely got a remnant of people out here that's like excited about what you do, and it's so important. Thank you, bro.
Man, I really appreciate it. I'm blessed to have an amazing platform. And the greatest part of this job is to be able to share this stage with amazing people like you, my friend. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be following your journey. Listen, I'm gonna be up all night following this journey.
Hey,
So
hey,
I'm
hey,
looking forward. And
hey,
what,
Greg, do you?
can people come to the finish line?
Yeah, it's gonna be at Camp Jordan. So I'm starting the race at 6 o'clock in the evening, so I can have most of the time to run during the night, because that sun is no joke. What we talking about? So,
Yeah.
so it'll be. You guys can just follow the Instagram page. I'm 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 hoping to be in Camp Jordan around like 6, 7 ish, right? And oh yeah, I forgot to say this. We are gonna dance after 120 miles. We dancing, brother. We
So is this, I gotta ask you, is this 6 or 7 in the morning on the 26th?
in the evening. In the
In
evening.
the evening.
So yeah, it's a 24-hour race. So I'm gonna start at 6 p.m. and I'll be finished by 6 p.m. God willing, right? God willing.
You know, you're gonna finish it. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now, I am gonna be there at the finish line because I want to celebrate you, my friend. Yes. For the record, I am going to be at the finish line and I'll be waiting with
Hey,
with a good sign.
hey, you do me a favor. My audience, man, they love when I do this. The X right here is expediters, right? That's what I do. I'm a transporter. But it's
Okay.
also Xing out all excuses to get you to your goals. Would you throw over
Okay.
X for me real quick?
Of course.
Expediter!
Yes.
Thank you, bro.
Breon, I really appreciate it. Love you so much. Check him out. Again, the big race coming up next weekend, 120 miles. The 25th, he's starting at 6 p.m., running through the night, 24 hours, and then 6 p.m. on the 26th. Be there. Camp Jordan. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to root this man in and celebrate him for his journey. I just want to say congrats again. You know, at first, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw you said 100, I thought it was a marathon, like 26 miles. And when I saw 120, I said, let me call this brother and make sure he all right.
Hey,
But
Greg, I'm doing it in sandals too.
in sandals,
These right here, they call X Zeros.
wow.
I got over 900 miles of training in these.
I think that's okay. You know, Jesus wore sandals back in the day. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Support this man next weekend. He's doing some incredible things. Follow him on Instagram. Congratulations again. I know you're going to do great. Have a good night, everybody.
Yes, sir.